This is from Dawg Pound Daily. 3 bold predictions for 2025 in the offseason for the Browns. They say, 1, they'll sign 28-year-old cornerback DJ Reed in free agency. Between lackluster performances from M.J. Emerson, Juan Thornhill, continued injuries plaguing Greg Newsome, no other consistent defenders in the secondary aside from Ward. It's unclear whether the Jets are going to be willing to pay Reed, but the Browns might be. Cleveland will sign Nick Chubb to an extremely team-friendly deal. Once you reach a certain age or hit a certain number of injuries, teams are more wary of signing you. And number 3, the Browns will use number 2 overall pick as leverage, not as an actual pick. Makes no sense for the Cleveland to take a quarterback they're not totally convinced can be a starter on day one, especially when they don't have a clear idea of what their offensive line or running back room will look like in 2025. Start with Chubb. I think they do try to find an incentive-laden, team-friendly deal. You know, the reason I think Andrew Berry, when he spoke, kind of was hesitant, wants to make sure nobody's going to throw a big stack of money at Nick Chubb, thinking he's going to be back.
I don't think that's going to happen, though, either. And I do think there is a loyalty factor, both from the player and obviously from the team and obviously from the fan base. Nick Chubb is as beloved a player as we've had here in maybe since Bernie Kosar. I don't even know what kind of level he belongs on, but Nick Chubb is Nick Chubb for a reason. And, the Browns love him. His teammates love him. I don't know, I haven't, Nick is not super with the media, and we don't get a whole lot of chances to talk to him on the side or anything. So I don't know how he personally feels about the situation here. Obviously, they've been loyal, very loyal to him, helped, allowed him to come back and play this year. Unfortunately, the broken foot took him out, and there were moments where we saw flashes of the old Nick Chubb, but times where he was obviously struggling and coming back from a major reconstruction for the second time in his career made it very difficult on him. So I agree with you, Dave. I think they will try to come up with something that would suit the team, not put them in any more of a financial hardship than they're already in with numerous other contracts. I think they'll take another shot at that. And to your, to the emailer's comment about the secondary, I would agree with that. I mean, other than Denzel Ward, they really didn't get consistent play out of that secondary. In my mind, M.J. Emerson took a step back from what I thought he could be after another season. So, and again, a lot of times we don't know exactly what guys are dealing with in terms of injuries. I think, unfortunately, in our line of work, one thing you can't always find out about is how limited a player might be. These guys are always dealing with something. And I felt like there were times where Emerson just wasn't himself, and I wondered what was going on there. It's one thing to be out of position and another thing not to be able to physically do your job at the level that we had already seen. So, I think we'll see some major changes in that secondary coming up. Let's get back to Denzel Ward for a second. I mean, a guy who had as good a year as we've seen out of a defensive back here in a very long time. So again, a very promising core player going forward, at least something the Browns know that they can count on 21 when he's out there.